That's a lot better on camera. That's a hell of a lot better. Look how clear we are now. Absolutely fantastic. What a great picture we've got today. Hey guys, good evening. Welcome back to the channel, United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Hope you're all having a fantastic week. Hope you all had a good day. Hope you've all had a great Thursday evening and hope you're all looking forward to the end of the week and another brand new weekend in January 2024. First of all, do a massive favour for me, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button, and always remember to put the notification bell on as well at all times to receive dedicated content right throughout the rest of 2024 for more Fortnite, Rocket League, Fall Guys, F123, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3. We've also got Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, co-op story mode with my friend Jordan as well. Massive shout out to him. Massive shout out to all of you. Good evening to everybody. And yeah, let's hope today's preview is going to be a very hot topic of discussion between Manchester United and Tottenham for Sunday's Premier League evening game on matchday 21 of the 23-24 Premier League season at Old Trafford. Sunday evening kickoff, Manchester United's final game of January. This is our last game of January. Cannot believe already. This is going to be our final Premier League game of January. We only played twice this month, so it's kind of weird not having to talk about Manchester United much. But obviously, Sunday's game is absolutely massive. United against Postecoglou's Tottenham, who have been, absolutely transformed under a Celtic manager that everyone was very debating. Is he going to last long at Tottenham? Will he last a job? Will he get his style of play across to the Spurs player? And will he be able to cope without the iconic Harry Kane, which was basically carrying Tottenham under Mourinho, Antonio Conte, Ryan Mason, and now Postecoglou all of a sudden is now carrying the burden of Tottenham's worries and woes on his shoulders as the manager of Spurs, who have, had so far. They've had one of those seasons, Spurs, at the moment, but I think for me, it's going to be a tough test for United at the weekend. I don't think it's going to be an easy game. I think Tottenham, obviously, at the moment, have got a lot of key players out injured and also key players away on international duty because obviously Heung-min Son, obviously unavailable for Spurs, Christian Romero, James Maddison. And Spurs have got a lot of injury problems like Manchester United. And I think, both teams both need the points, both need the win at the weekend. And obviously Spurs and United are both desperately trying to chase down top four, trying to get into the Champions League for next season. And maybe, you never know, a potential title race, maybe United or Spurs, but it's looking very unlikely from both teams as it currently stands. But obviously Tottenham in the last few days have been very busy in the transfer window. They've signed Timo Werner on a season-long loan deal from RB Leipzig to obviously fill the void left by Song and obviously the injured Richarlison. And obviously they've signed a new centre-back today as well, which is another massive boost for Tottenham's credentials on Sunday against United. Obviously Tottenham clearly are being backed by Postecoglou and are getting the players that the manager wants. And Manchester United at the moment are struggling to even get players out the door as well as to get players in through the door. So at the moment, Manchester United are more on the backward step for Sunday's game because obviously, Timo Werner, I think it's going to be a massive surprise package at Spurs. Obviously, clinical striker. Obviously, went back to Leipzig from Chelsea. Hasn't worked out at Leipzig. 2 goals in 8 games and no assists. Hasn't exactly been the welcoming home package that RB Leipzig were probably looking for from Timo Werner, who went back to RB Leipzig from Chelsea. And obviously his Chelsea career didn't last very long, did it? And obviously Spurs have taken a massive gamble on a striker with those goals in that number of appearances and obviously no assists as well. So obviously Spurs are trying to cover themselves. They are lacking a lack of goals through their front three. Brennan Johnson, obviously, I thought would be a massive hit at Tottenham. Hasn't really worked out from Nottingham Forest since he moved from Forest to Spurs. And obviously, Postecoglou has acted very quickly and obviously has got backed by Daniel Levy, has brought in some very good players in this transfer window, and Spurs look like they are going to cause Manchester United a hell of a few problems on Sunday because I think Timo Werner will score goals on the Spurs shirt. Obviously, Manchester United were looking at Timo Werner. Obviously, Manchester United said no because of the conditions surrounding Anthony Martial's departure, I say potential departure out of this transfer window, which looks like it's not going to happen. We did look at Timo Werner, and obviously we backed away from the deal, and Spurs pounced on him, got the deal done with Leipzig very quickly, got him on loan for the rest of the season, and obviously got a 17 million buy option if they want Werner for next season at Tottenham, which I think if Timo Werner does well and scores a few goals on Sunday at Old Trafford, this could really, really come back to haunt Manchester United. And I think for me, Man United have missed out on an absolute trick here. We've been looking for a goal-scoring striker. Højlund's development hasn't worked. Anthony Martial is always injured. Attitude stinks. Rashford, 1 goal in how many games now? And Man United haven't really got another goal-scoring striker. And I think Timo Werner would have been an absolute steal for a loan move. And I'm absolutely gutted we didn't get him. I think Timo Werner would have worked out at Tottenham. But some of the comments Timo came out with when he signed for Spurs, that he wants to win trophies. Tottenham's the ideal destination for him. I hope Spurs fans know that he came from your rivals Chelsea and obviously has got a Champions League winners medal, more medals than Spurs trophy cabinet, and obviously apparently he's going to come in and score goals. And I think Spurs fans are going to have to be patient with Timo Werner. I think he's going to be a massive hit. I think he will score you goals, and I think he will cause defensive problems because his runs on and off the ball are very, very good. His timing of his moves in and around the opposition penalty area are excellent as well. His movement inside the penalty area. I think Man United have missed on an absolute trick, and I'm very, very disappointed we have not signed a striker. And it's nearly day 12 of this transfer window in 2024, and United have sat there and done absolute fuck all. And with Spurs already adding Timo Werner, they went and signed a new centre-back today from Genoa for about 30 million, 25 million euros or 5 million easy add-ons in euros. They've signed the centre-back Radu Dragusin from Genoa, from the Italian club in Serie A for 30 million, signed obviously 5-year contract at Spurs till 2029. So obviously Spurs are spending some big money on players to obviously get, Postecoglou through this Tottenham pain barrier with all the injuries they've got. And this is what you call, ladies and gentlemen, backing a manager like Postecoglou at Spurs, who is clearly getting the backing he is getting from Daniel Levy. And clearly now they are spending the Harry Kane money. For me, since Harry Kane has gone, Spurs have been a lot better. And I think now Spurs have had to act because Song is away on international duty. Richarlison, I think Spurs will try and shift him in the summer. I think bringing in Timo Werner as well as his centre-back to fill the void left by Romero, who's always injured, and obviously Richarlison, who can't put the ball into the back of the Spurs net. Spurs have gone out and done business and clearly backed their manager, and both those players are going to be available for Sunday's fixture against United. And I'm very, very frustrated that we are sat here on, like I say, day 12 nearly. We've not backed our manager. We've let more players go than players come in. Apparently, we are targeting loan deals only, which is an absolute joke, where Man United are in an injury crisis. No players have been brought in. Money is clearly there to be spent. And Man United have shifted out Jadon Sancho to Dortmund. Hannibal looks like he's going to Sevilla. Donny van der Beek looks like he's gone to Eintracht Frankfurt. Pellistri looks like he's going to go on loan to PSV for the season with a buyback clause. I think for me, what's got to happen now, we have to win on Sunday. And if the problems come, a big problem against Tottenham and we don't score any goals, I think Manchester United are going to have to act. We have wasted nearly 2 weeks and done nothing. This isn't acceptable. This isn't good enough. And for a club of the standard that Manchester United apparently are trying to become, this is a joke. The Premier League season is nearly finished. We are desperately trying to avoid major embarrassment by missing out on Europe for next season. And Man United are sat there probably on Football Manager, twiddling their thumbs, eating a big, massive fucking packet of Doritos and doing nothing. I mean, how is that backing a manager? It clearly isn't. They are clearly throwing Ten Hag to the wolves, and they are going to try and pinpoint the blame on Ten Hag if this all goes fucking pear-shaped. If we were to lose to Spurs on Sunday, all I'm going to say is forget Manchester United being in Europe next season. Forget us even winning a trophy, because the best hope at the moment is trying to win the FA Cup, which we're going to theoretically still going to be in, where Man United have got Newport County of League 2 or Eastleigh of the National League, because we can't win anything else. We're not going to get top 4, and we are going to have to desperately try and avoid a major L from rival fans, rival supporters, pundits and pundits alike, because they're all going to blame Ten Hag if this goes pear-shaped. They'll blame him for why this has all gone wrong, where the bigger picture is we are in a January transfer window. Premier League games are coming thick and thin for Manchester United now, and we don't play now till after Sunday, till the 1st of February. And we have got to pick up points. We have still got to go to Man City away. We've still got to play Liverpool at home and Chelsea away, Arsenal at home. we have still got to somehow rescue this dreadful Premier League season. And I don't think people realise how important this actually is. If United do not win on Sunday, this is going to hit breaking point where I think they're going to sack Ten Hag. And I fear for Ten Hag now. I really, really do. This transfer window has been a disgrace. And I absolutely feel for the manager. And everyone is blaming Ten Hag, saying, well, he doesn't deserve any more backing. He does not deserve to be brought any more players because clearly the players he's brought in haven't been good enough. Well, I'm clearly really sorry if people do not like it that wounds are being hurt by Ten Hag that calls certain players out and certain players have been shifted out. If people don't like Ten Hag's honesty, what would you rather have? Would you rather go back to the days of having Solskjaer or Ragnick at the wheel, or would you rather have a manager that actually gives a shit, forces the dead wood and the problematic players out of this football club, or would you rather go back 10 times worse even more and have another manager like Solskjaer come through the door to get us till the end of the season? If it does go pear-shaped Sunday, which I think it might go, then questions have then got to be asked. But then Ten Hag can come back onto that clause saying, well, where's my players? Because you've let so-and-so go and we've not replaced them. Like, we seem at the moment to be stuck in our old ways where we're using financial fair play, we're using sell to buy, when both excuses are inexcusable. They're both myths, complete and utter myths. And Manchester United thinks there to lie to the fans, lie to supporters, and basically get away with another shit transfer window where there's business to be done. But apparently United do not like doing business in January, and they would rather wait till the summer to focus on key number one targets. Well, if we're going to wait till the summer, you might as well write off the rest of the season, because if we don't get into Europe, how are we going to be able to have a good summer transfer window? And a massive rebuild will then have to happen. And half those players we've got now are going to have to go out the door, because at the moment we are still in an injury crisis. We've got certain players unavailable. After Sunday, we lose Onana to African Cup of Nations duty. We've also lost Amrabat, who's on African Cup of Nations duty with Morocco currently. We've got no Mount, no Casemiro, no Ericsson, no Anthony, no Martinez, no Maguire, no Shaw, no Malacia. Reguilon's gone back to Spurs. Donny's gone to Eintracht Frankfurt. Pellistri looks like he's gone to PSV. Hannibal Mabry's going on loan to Sevilla. And Sancho has gone back to Dortmund because he's thrown his toys out the pram like a spoiled little baby he is, especially when he's gone and kissed the Dortmund badge today in an exclusive video and then said, I'm home. So Man United all January long have sat there and let players go and use financial fair play. And also, Sunday, they're probably going to have players like Joe Hugill on the bench, who apparently now has been given a brand new contract at this club where clearly he's got no future anyway. He ain't fucking good enough. And they've sent him on loan to Burton Albion, but yet you've given this guy a new contract and we're sending him on loan where we've got a depleted squad now because they've let nearly 4 or 5 players walk out the door and done fuck all. That is an incompetent club that clearly don't have a bloody clue what we're doing, which we don't. We do not have one clue what we're doing now. And Spurs Sunday is make or break. If we don't get top 4, goodbye Ten Hag. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm not going to blame Ten Hag for the mess we're in. This is the people above the manager who are failing him. Everyone thinks that Jim Ratcliffe is going to come in and fucking fix it. What is he, Bob the Builder? What's he going to get his crew, Dizzy, Muck and Rowley, to come to the rescue and help him along with the mess that this football club's fucking in? We have to win Sunday. Like, I can't speak highly enough about what's going to happen Sunday if we do not win. Top 4 will be gone. Europe will be gone because United will slip down that table even more. We will slip to as low as 11th in the league if we don't win on Sunday. We have never been in that bottom half since the days of George Graham, and we ended up getting relegated. I'm not saying we're going to get involved in a relegation fight, but the problem is all our rivals are going to start moving ahead of us, and we are going to start falling even more backwards if we do not get ourselves together Sunday. Spurs are going to be absolutely booted by these new signings. I mean, Dragusin and Timo Werner are going to be excellent signing for Spurs. Dragusin, he turned down Bayern Munich to come to Tottenham. That says quite a lot from a player point of view that has turned down German champions Bayern Munich for mid-table Tottenham, who look absolutely transformed. I know, Tottenham have had a few iffy results this season, but they are turning things around. Postecoglou is getting a beat out of these Tottenham players that every manager before failed. Conte didn't get it. Mourinho didn't get it. Ryan Mason was a joke as an interim coach. And then, look at Postecoglou. Everyone thought, why are they giving the Celtic manager the job? Well, look what he did at Celtic. It says to me why they went for Postecoglou in the first place. And I think for me, he clearly gets what the Tottenham DNA is to get Tottenham fighting on all fronts. And all of a sudden, these players look completely and utterly fired up under him. They look completely transformed. I think Mourinho clearly lost the dressing room. Ryan Mason didn't have a clue. And Conte did not get on with Daniel Levy and didn't even want the Tottenham job in the first place. And then look how that ended up. And look at Tottenham now. They're above United. That did not happen last season. I look at all the clubs we finished above last season and now all above us. It's sickening to the stomach that you've got clubs like Brighton, Villa, West Ham, Spurs, Newcastle, Liverpool, Man City and Arsenal are all above United, who we finished above Newcastle and Liverpool and Chelsea and Spurs and Villa and West Ham and Brighton. All of them now have leapfrogged us because of how bad we are as a club. Our results this season haven't been good enough, and maybe Ten Hag should have been sacked by Christmas. But like my parents say to me, Ten Hag clearly isn't the problem here. It's the people around him that are failing the manager. And with the amount of players that have gone, we're going to have a very weak squad Sunday. If people think, United are going to win this game and they think it's going to be an easy 3 points, especially when we've got home advantage at Old Trafford, I wouldn't be too sure because that squad's on its knees now. You've let those players leave on loan, which United really should have sold permanently to get money for so we could have actually spent some fucking money. And now it's like, well, we don't really need them anyway. Let them go on loan and let's try and recuperate some of their money from the sale if they want to go in the summer. And maybe the clubs they're on loan at will make the signings permanently. If Sancho doesn't work out back at Dortmund, he's coming back to us in the summer. So will Donny van der Beek. If Pelestri doesn't work out at PSV, he's coming back. If Hannibal Mabry goes on loan to Sevilla and it doesn't work out, he's coming back. And then United is stuck with those 4 players again, thinking, well, do you know what? We'll try and integrate them back in. Those players should have been sold. But the problem is why they've not been solved is because of the wages they're on. No other club can afford the wages. And United are having to cover most of those players' wages to cover on their loan moves at the clubs they've gone to. So United are in a mess here because they've also got loan fees for these players. So I can't understand why we've not used the loan fee from part of the deal to try and somehow bring a striker in, because United have received about 6-7 million loan fee for, Sancho's gone back to Dortmund. Donny, we've got about 4. Pelestri will probably get a bit of money there for a loan fee, and so will Hannibal. Well, clearly there's going to be about 10 to 12 million to try and somehow go and get a striker in. And all United would have to add that would be 5 or 6 million, because Sunday's going to be a problem for United because that Spurs back four is now strengthened. Because look at Pedro Porro, look at the goal he scored against Burnley in the FA Cup. He's such an amazing right back. Romero looks completely transformed as a Tottenham centre back, unavailable to injury. Tottenham have swooped in and got a centre back done in 2-3 days. That is what you call efficiency. That is what you call backing the manager. A Man United like, well, we've got players, we will be fine. We will not be fine if this starts going wrong Sunday and we lose 3 or 4-0. And then United are going to be in the shit. But what they'll do if they do lose Sunday, they'll try and spin a positive to get all our minds off the result. But the problem is we don't forget. We ain't stupid at the end of the day. We're not fucking stupid, are we, United fans? We're quite clever. We're not clueless to know United's mind games. Like, we're not thick. We know what United are going to do. If we get heavily defeated on Sunday, they are going to try and spin a massive positive for us to forget the result. I don't forget. I remember. So if it does go wrong Sunday, I'm not just going to sit there and say, oh, do you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm going to be like, what the fuck's going on? Because we scraped past Wigan in the FA Cup, which was a joke. And then Sunday, I fear for us because we've got no players. And people don't realise we have got hardly any players left. And especially with those 4 going to go out on loan, they're probably going to have to swoop into the youth academy now. Please, can we borrow some players because we haven't got any players left in the first team? They're going to end up going to beg to their youth academy coaches. Can we borrow some of these players? We need them. We've let too many players leave and we can't fill a squad. We can't fill a bench. Well, whose fault is that then? Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that for not replacing the loan players that have left? But because we keep using financial fair play and sell to buy bullshit, United are going to keep carrying on with this mess. And do you know what? Be my guest. I'm not stopping you. But don't blame me if this goes tits up Sunday when we don't find the back of the net or the midfield is lost in the battle again and the defence is crumbling more than a cookie. Don't blame me. Blame your recruitment that apparently we were meant to be getting a centre-back and a striker. Not one or the other. It should have been both. And United have been sat here for 2 weeks and done fuck all. Like, it's an absolute shithouse at the moment at Manchester United. It is an absolute disgrace. And I'm embarrassed to support a club like this. Like, this Premier League season's been shit enough as it is. I honestly thought Man United would have kind of responded to the results we've had and then improved the current team we've got to make it a bit more better. Because we ain't scoring enough goals. The midfield battle's clearly going to be weak now. And the midfield three that will play Sunday will probably be Bruno, McTominay and Kobe Mainoo. Because Ericsson, out ill still, didn't play against Wigan, probably will not feature on Sunday. Amrabat is with Morocco at the African Cup of Nations. Mount is still injured. Casemiro is still injured. So everyone's thinking, oh, do you know what? At least we're getting these injured players back in training. But are they available to play? No, because we're not going to rush them. So United really are shooting themselves in the foot because it's the same with the back four. No Luke Shaw, no Malacia, no Maguire, no Lindelof, no Martinez. So the back four will probably be the same back four again, which played against Wigan. Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, Varane and Johnny Evans. So you're telling me we can win with that team? I mean, no disrespect to League One Wigan. It was Wigan after all. Of course we were going to win. But Spurs, they're going to be laughing at us Sunday thinking, that's the back four. Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, Varane and Evans. We'd have a field day here. We could run rings round those four. Johnny Evans is clearly aging and needs to retire. Dalot gets one good goal against Wigan in the FA Cup and everyone applauds him for it. Wan-Bissaka shouldn't even be at the club. And Varane is more injured than a paper cut. And at least he's kept himself fit for a few games. As soon as he went down injured against Wigan with that face injury, you're fearing the fucking worst again. It's like, oh, here we go. Varane's down, quick. Someone call for the stretcher. United ain't got a team. I'm sorry, we haven't. And I fear for the team selection. I dread what it could be because I think for me, we've got too many weaknesses. We need to trim this squad to make this team look better. We need to get manscaped on this because at the end of the day, I'm not satisfied that team's good enough. McTominay ain't good enough. Kobe Mainoo is only 18 and is still trying to develop in the midfield and was probably our best standout player against Wigan in the FA Cup third round. Bruno Fernandes, you know, I can't believe people are still going on about that bloody penalty decision where it was clearly a penalty and Bruno Fernandes gets fouled in the Wigan penalty area. And then, you know, with McTominay, like, how is this a team? Like, these players have had too many opportunities to prove themselves already. And it's like, do you know what? Let's give them another roll of the dice. No, I'm not having this anymore. We need better than that. The midfield, I am fine with Kobe Mainoo and Fernandes. I'm fine with that selection. But it's the McTominay problem I've got. And once Casemiro comes back in, I guarantee you Kobe Mainoo is going to be out of the team. So Kobe Mainoo might then have to sit next to Fernandes or Kobe Mainoo moves back to the bench. Kobe Mainoo looks like the best player we've got at the moment. And that's me being really honest. He's probably our most standout player from a point of view of performance. He's the only one that actually gets it. He's the only one that I see trying on a regular basis. I'm the only one that's got any guts or any determination to fight. The rest of the team is basically getting carried. And I think for me, that's the big talking point. This team's getting carried by youngsters that actually care. And I think for me, that is what we need to be doing and targeting. We need to build a younger team that is actually going to be there for one another and get results over the line because this team's aging now. Like, you look at how many seasons Bruno's been here. Like, does that have to be called into question for next season? Casemiro, does he need to go because of the injury record? Has Mount worked out? Clearly not. Another 60 million flop from Chelsea. 2.0 Nemanja Matic. Ericsson, does he need to be moved on? Can't keep himself fit. Hasn't really worked out. Hannibal Mabry, I can't understand why we can't just sell him permanently because he ain't good enough. and his attitude and his tackling's horrendous. It's, you know what I mean? It's science fiction at the end of the day that Man United have got all these problems and aren't willing to fix them. And I get really frustrated by that. United are meant to be a big club. We're not acting like a big club. It's Friday in less than 49 minutes, and we're sat here wondering what's going to happen next. What's going to be tomorrow's headline? What's going to be before the match on Sunday? Are we going to get linked to some players and rumours of players coming in and out? Because apparently even Ten Hag said, if there's a loan deal we can do, we'll strike at the opportunity. But the problem is, what deal are you going to do? Because if you don't bring a striker, we've already got goal-scoring problems as it is, because Rashford's clearly burnt or carrying an injury. Højlund's development, look how much that 85 million's got us. Anthony is injured, so probably won't play on Sunday either. Ahmad is ill, so probably won't play on Sunday either. So the only option you've got off the right wing, and you might not even have Pellistri then, because if Pellistri gets a loan move agreed in the next 49 minutes, 48, or gets a loan move agreed tomorrow on Friday, you're then basically thinking, well, where's the right wing option? Do we need to get Sancho back on the plane, back over to Manchester to play against Spurs? Because at the moment, we ain't got no right wingers. I hope everyone just realises that. Even I've just realised that. Because you can't put Rashford there and you can't put Garnacho there because neither of them are right wingers. So United have got a big problem here. I think I probably know what the bench might be. And people are expecting Ahmad and Casemiro and Mount and Pellistri and Eriksen all to be on that bench. No, they won't, because Ahmad is ill. So is Eriksen. Mount, Casemiro are both still injured. I can pick this team. It's not hard. But we are scraping past League One Wigan. Can you imagine what Tottenham are going to do? Like, Tottenham are going to be up for this. They are going to smell that Man United vulnerability like a very good, great British bake-off cake. They are going to smell that cake and absolutely pounce on the smell. And they're going to trounce us. I dread what it's going to be, because if Tottenham had all their key players fit, this would be a mauling. This would be another 6-1. Do you remember that season under Solskjaer? I think it was his second season in charge. We got absolutely mauled. We got ruthlessly, brutally battered. We got battered 6-1 by Mourinho's Tottenham. And he came back and did this to us. We got mauled 6-1. That was a bad, bad day. That was back in those when no fans were allowed in the stadiums due to what was going on. And now it's like, this could repeat. This history could repeat itself. It's like when Harry Potter finds out in the Chamber of Secrets that in the film, it's been opened for the second time and history's repeated itself. It's happened again. This could happen against United on Sunday. This really could. Like Spurs, they're going to miss Song. He's one of their better players. Richarlison, I don't think is going to be a big miss for Tottenham. And then you've got Maddison, who I would have absolutely loved at this football club. Maddison was one of my number one players I would have loved of Manchester United to have got hold of. But Man United said no. They could have got, what that angers me, the midfield battle. Who did we get in the summer? We got Amrabat. And I think that was it for the midfield. Because we had Manu already here, Casemiro, Eriksen, and Fernandes. Oh, Mount. So we brought two midfielders in. One we spent 60 million on, and the other one was a loan. And then sending Amrabat back in the summer because it hasn't worked out. And it ain't Amrabat's fault. He hasn't been given enough an opportunity. He's miles better than Eriksen and miles better than Mount. And for me, he's a better player than Bruno Fernandes. And they're sending him back to Fiorentina because the loan move has not worked. Well, that's 10 million gone down the drain, being spent badly again. I rate Amrabat. For me, he's one of my favourite players. I love the guy. He's not done anything wrong. But clearly, United have already made a decision quite quickly saying, no, Amrabat, we ain't keeping Amrabat. He can go back in the summer. What a waste of time that signing was. And I think the fans and supporters are going to feel sorry for Amrabat, because if Amrabat was available, I would have picked him Sunday. I really would have picked him and dropped McTominay and put Amrabat in the CDM role and put Kobe Mainoo next to Bruno Fernandes. That is what I would have done. But now Amrabat's being told to get lost. We're now stuck with McTominay and Fernandes and Manu. Mainoo's fine and Fernandes is okay. But Scott McTominay's the big problem. Does all these stupid little pivot turns on the board think it's all right, and that's like a bunny rabbit? What is he, Bugs Bunny? Does these little bunny hops and little rabbit pivot turns? Like, I just don't get the guy. So for me, I would have loved Amrabat to play, but he ain't going to. So another key player we've lost for Sunday. So because he's at African Cup Nations in Morocco. I don't understand why Man United have then kept Onana over Amrabat, because Man United were desperately needing an Onana. They've kept right because we ain't got no good goalkeeper. Man United clearly don't want Tom Heaton here. So what's he still doing here? And then Onana, they've kept because they realise the Turkish goalkeeper Brandia is shit. And he's been annoyed by that because Ten Hag has not picked him or selected him in any United Cup games or any United games at all this season. He's been on the bench for every single fucking game. That's because he's crap. I never wanted him here. I was back in the signing and hoping, I hope this works out for Ten Hag. I hope he's got a good number one, two good choice goalkeeper here. Has he played a minute? No. More money badly been spent. What Man United could have done with that 20 million is, instead of getting Amrabat here, instead of Brandia, they could have kept Tom Heaton as the backup. But clearly Ten Hag doesn't want Tom Heaton and don't rate him, which I agree with. Tom Heaton's crap and shouldn't be at the club. But they could have not got Amrabat, kept that 10 million back from the Dean Henderson set, and then could have gone and got a striker as a backup to Højlund. And Man United said no. So again, logically, what the fuck are we doing up here? So again, we've talked about the United midfield and the defence and the goalkeeping situation. It's now that attack where is the biggest problem, because United have screwed themselves up here because we ain't got no right wingers available, people, because Ahmad won't be there, nor will Pellistri, and nor will Sancho. So what do you do on the right wing? United are in a mess here. I don't think anyone realises, look, we've hardly got players, and we are probably going to have to play players out of position. I mean, do you put Bruno Fernandes there? And if Mount's available, put him next to bloody McTominay, which would be a bloody nightmare, because Bruno is awful on the right wing and Mount's been a flop of a signing. And then will Mainu like that when he sees Mount in front of him next to McTominay? When he's realised, well, where the fuck's Bruno then? Because Bruno ain't a right winger and you're putting Bruno on the right. United have not done their homework. And United have screwed themselves. And I've got no sympathy for that. Because this is how we operate. We're a banter club trying to figure out the mess we've got ourselves into. Look at the players we've not got and look at the players we need or we need to bring in to fill the void. But we're only going to do loan deals. I would love to know what the plan is for the right wing and the striking position then, because we clearly need to go and get a winger. And for me, we need a striker. Because Højlund's development clearly outworked. And remember when Man United told you in last summer, in 2023 summer transfer window, we're not going to spend big on a striker, we're not going to be over the top, and we're not going to pay over the odds for a big number one striking signing. Well, you spent 85 million on Rasmus Højlund, which clearly hasn't worked because he scored 5 goals in 5 Champions League games. And the goals have dried up. 1 goal in the Prem, so 6 goals all season. And Harry Kane's already Bundesliga's top goal scorer in the pub league with shit defences and shit teams in it. And Bayern Munich storms to the league title every year and every season. So United have shot themselves in the foot there. So United should have gone out and got Harry Kane and another striker. For me now, I look at this now, we should have got 2 strikers for the price of 1. And United should have done it. And we did not do it. I'm still backing Højlund to turn this around, by the way. A more youthful attack is a lot more helpful than an aging, depleted attack, because clearly now we are in a situation where if we don't score goals on Sunday and the front three doesn't find the back of the net, United are going to have to act very quickly. There's 2 options here. We either sell one of the front three and shift Martial out, because Martial won't play on Sunday. He's clearly fallen out with Ten Hag, and they're trying to shift him out. But apparently, according to Fabrizio Romano this evening, Martial is focused on Manchester United and Manchester United only. He's not surrounded by all the exit talk. So clearly, we can't find a buyer for Martial because of the loan fee we want, or maybe we want to try and sell him permanently, so we bring in a striker. And United won't sell Martial for 6-7 million because they want about 10. Again, what the fuck are we doing? Especially when, if you look at this right, 3 players run their contracts out in the summer: Varane, Casemiro, and Martial. If you think United are going to replace all 3 of them when they all depart, they won't. They'll blame financial fair play and sell to buy because we have got no money, which is bullshit, and people are believing the false advertising. We need a striker. If we don't score goals Sunday, United will have to go and get one. Who we're going to get, I do not know. Højlund will turn things around. I'm 110% positive Højlund will start finding the back of the net on a more regular occasion. But we are not getting the ball to him enough. Even a lot of pundits have admitted it. Man United are too afraid to get the ball to Højlund in the most key positions. They are selfish with the ball, and so are our wingers. And so, no wonder Højlund isn't scoring any goals, because the wingers are being selfish with the ball, not giving the ball to him. But that was no excuse against Wigan, where Højlund had 4 or 5 golden opportunities to put the ball in the back of the net. And clearly, one of the shots he had on goal against Wigan in the penalty area in that FA Cup third round away game was with his right foot. And there was no power, no finesse, and no accuracy. And it rolled straight to the goalkeeper's arms on the ground. So United are in a bloody mess, because Rashford, 1 goal in how many games? We've played 21 Premier League games, 6 Champions League group games. We've then played 2 Carabao Cups. So that's 28. And then an FA Cup game, so 29. 2 goals in 29 games. Clearly burnt out, or clearly has got an underlying issue we're not being told about, or clearly Rashford's carrying an injury. So, again, we've got Rashford in this team for no apparent reason. If he's not scoring goals, why the fuck is he playing? This is what annoys me the most. We are carrying on playing players like this, and we're in the mess we're in. It makes me really frustrated. It makes me really, really fucking frustrated. And there's only so much more I can take. Because if Rashford does not find the back of the net Sunday, we have got a big, big problem. And the big question in the summer needs to be asked, is it time to move him on? I think we've got to. I think if United get a monstrous offer in, they have got to seriously consider it, because there's clearly a striker I think United can get, and it is a big, big ask. And I think for me, it's got to happen. What would I do? Martial and Rashford go. Pellistri is sold. Sancho is sold. Ahmad and Anthony are kept. Højlund's kept, and so is Garnacho. We go and get Mbappe on a free. That would take United to the title. We've got no chance getting him, but that for me is the only answer I've got to the goal scoring problems. Mbappe would be the ideal striker for this club and would take United to the title. But United will not be able to do that deal, because if we're not in the Champions League, Mbappe is going to reject us. He clearly wants Real Madrid, or he wants Liverpool. If he goes to Liverpool, there is no point competing, because you're going to have Diaz, Gakpo, Salah, Jota, Darwin Núñez, and Mbappe. At Man United, you've got Ahmad, Pellistri, Rashford, Garnacho, Højlund, and Martial, where 3 or 4 of them should not be at this club, and we all know who they are. The only ones kept in that list are Garnacho and Højlund. I would even sell Anthony at a push if we got a big, massive, humongous offer brought in for him. Mbappe's the one we need to get. That, for me, is the answer to our goal-scoring problems. It's not going to happen, but United might have to do something stupid to get Mbappe in. They might have to pay over the odds, and they'll get him for free. He won't stay at PSG because they're a B-Tech team who has lost its 2 main superstars to the MLS and Saudi Arabia, in Neymar and Lionel Messi to Inter Miami in the MLS. So I think if Sunday is a big talking point where we don't score enough goals from the front 3, United can't wait till the summer. What would I do now if none of them score on Sunday? Because you ain't gonna have no Ahmad, Palestri, Anthony, Sancho's gone, so you're stuck with really what you get. No Anthony, Ahmad, Palestri, and Sancho. So you can't put Rashford there. You can't put Garnacho there. Højlund can't play there either. So for me at the moment, the front three is very, 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 very predictable. It will be the same front three that played on against Wigan on Monday. That is my big fear. That is my big worry. If that is the front three for Sunday, I think all hell will break loose. Because if Rashford and Højlund and Garnacho all hit a blank, and Rashford and Garnacho rotate between left and the right wing positions during each half of the game, that is not going to be easy. That will not work, and it clearly showed it doesn't work, and it showed against Wigan. Garnacho is not a right winger, and nor is Rashford. So at the moment, United have got a big issue. So for me at the moment, like I said, if we don't score goals Sunday, I dread what could happen. I really, really dread. But all I can say is Tottenham are beatable. Sometimes they can be very, very good, and sometimes they can be very, very bad. But Tottenham are one of those yo-yo clubs that go like that and like that and like that and like that. I'm not going to say we're going to beat Spurs. I think Spurs will win this game. But I've got to hope United can somehow pick this Premier League season up. But we won't be able to do that if you don't get players. Ten Hag is going to desperately try and get a striker. I don't know who it's going to be. I dread who it might be and who I think it will be. I think the only striker we're going to get is Choupo-Moting from Bayern Munich on a cheap season-long loan. And that is going to be it. But apparently United do not want to sign aging players anymore. Well, the only two options I've then got for you to get a striker in is Paulo Dybala from Roma with a 10 million release clause. And then also Serhou Guirassy from Stuttgart, who's had a phenomenal goal-scoring season in the Bundesliga and is only just behind Harry Kane on the top goal-scoring charts in the Bundesliga this season. Those, for me, are the only two options. I think if Sunday does prove we don't score goals and the front three don't find the net, United are going to have to act. If they can get 10 million loan fees from all the sales they've sold players to other clubs on loan, United might be able to do it. I don't know what's going to happen Sunday. All I can say is let's hope United win and do not ruin another weekend, because we do not need this during a major winter break, which have been calling for months. But what should have happened? The Premier League season should have ended at the end of December for a winter break. January, there should have been a whole month break of Premier League football, return in February, finish the season 2 weeks later than scheduled, then head out for the Euros, and then restart the season. That is what logically I think should have happened. And I think United now, if truth comes to fold on Sunday, Højlund doesn't score, Garnacho doesn't score, and Rashford doesn't score, then we have got big issues, because this season will crash down on us very, very quickly. If we don't get European football, there is no way in hell Ten Hag keeps his job. If we don't get Champions League football, he won't keep his job. Europa League football, he won't keep his job. Europa Conference League football, he won't keep his job. I don't want to be in Europa League. I do not want to be in Europa Conference League, because that is a laughable competition for mid-table clubs. But at the moment, people saying it might be good for United to be out of Europe, I completely disagree. United need European football. Without European football, United summer transfer window will be exact same repeat as last summer's in 2023. I think as Spurs as a damage and defeat, they might get rid of Ten Hag. I really think they could. I think they could sack him. I'm still behind the manager. I am not blaming Ten Hag for any of this. This is on the board, it's on the owners, and it's on these players. If it's a bad defeat, they might have to do it anyway. But if they do sack Ten Hag, then I'm sorry to say, the rebuild of Man United is going to be over, because it will bring an interim in till the end of the season, and then in the summer, they'll go and get another manager. So United really have got to get to work. If it goes wrong Sunday, which I think it could, United are going to have to go and get a striker. Will it happen? I don't know. Will we beat Tottenham? It's hard to say. At the moment, the way I'm feeling, we're not scoring enough goals. Probably not. But I've got to remain hopeful. I've got to remain confident United can deliver a result. But The trust for me is gone. I don't trust these players. I don't back them anymore. I don't believe in them. The confidence is gone. The commitment's gone. The desire's gone for me, and the passion's dried up weeks ago. So for me, I'm done with these players and everyone at the club connected with them. I don't trust them. The only one I care about is the manager and Ten Hag now, because he's the real guy that gets it. So I'm going to go for 2-0 United. Let's see what happens on Sunday evening. So I hope you enjoyed this Premier League preview between United and Spurs for Sunday's game for match day 21 the 23-24 Premier League season. Hit the like button and the share button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Share the video. Hit the tweet button. Hit the retweet button. Remember to always remember that notification bell. Put that bell on at all times as well to receive dedicated brand new content planned for the rest of this year in 2024. We're bringing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 in. Avatar, The Frontiers of Pandora, co-op story mode. We've got more Fall Guys, Fortnite, F1 23, EA Sports FC 24 career mode with Manchester United. More previews, more match reactions, and then obviously join me for the final score and the Premier League reaction on Sunday evening between United and Spurs. Hopefully it's United win. Hopefully it's 3 points, and hopefully we can get this Premier League season back on track. I don't know what's going to happen, but United have seriously got to win, and this might be 10 hour class game in charge. So let's see what happens. So enjoy your day, enjoy your week, enjoy your evening. Stay safe, be nice, be kind to each other. You're all legends, you're all legendary, and I'll see you all on the next one. You're all amazing, by the way. Thank you.